everyone, and today we're going to discuss the extensions in Gnome graphical environments in Linux. Extensions can be considered a sort of plugins that can give some extra features to the graphical environment, or can enhance some features that already are there. So extensions facilitate the user experience. We can find the extensions in this site here. It's extension gnome.org, and here we find a list of all the extensions we can install in our system. So before going on and see how we can install the extensions, I want to point out where they are installed, because in the end, when we are going to install it, they are going to be actually stored in our system. So it's good to know where they are. So you have to go to the root directory, and then to the USR, and then to share, and here we find the GNOME shell. Here it is, GNOME shell, this directory here, and then up here we find extensions. Now this one is the default extensions we find that are shipped with Ubuntu installations. We are going to see how we can install some extra extensions, of course, and that's it. We start soon to see how we can install the extension. So we go back to the site we saw before, to this URL, and we see at the top here there is a note that telling us that we can install the extension through the web browser, which is quite good, because it's as we can see later, it's a very easy process and straightforward. So we click here to install the add-on for Firefox, and we continue installation, and seems everything is going good. Now we refresh the page. Okay, there is another note here that's actually telling us that we have to do something else. So we go to the documentation, and in the documentation we see that actually this add-on for Firefox requires an extra module for our system, our Linux installation. So it's just enough to copy this line here and do it in the terminal, paste, give my password, and that's it. Now we refresh again the page. We go back and refresh page again the page, and now our system is ready to install any extension for GNOME we like. So naturally, the next step to take is to install some of these extensions. But before doing that, I would like to focus the attention to this application here. It's Twix. It's GNOME Twix, and we can, if you don't find on the system, it's actually possible to download from the Ubuntu software. We just do type Twix here, and we have this known Twix. Don't use this one, Unity Twix tools, because this one is belongs to old version of Ubuntu, which have the Unity graphic interface, and now I'm using the version 18.04 of Ubuntu, so this one is not useful anymore because now is this Unity graphical environment is has been replaced. So this one is actually the one that we have to take, and this is the application. So here we have the possibility to change and to actually customize many aspects of the Ubuntu. One of these aspects is the station. So here we will have a list of the stations that we have in the system. At this point we have only two, which are the defaults that are installed when in Ubuntu distribution. So let's see how, now that we have this knowledge, that we know that there is this useful application here, we are going to install some of these extensions. And we begin immediately with the first one, and we are going to see just now. The first one I like to install is this application overview tooltip. Now, by default, we don't have any extra information about this one. We have just the name of the application, nothing more. With this one, we will have some extra information that can be useful to identify the application we are going to run. Okay, we're going to do in that way and install it. This is we can do this one, this here. So by turning on this switch, we can install extensions in the easiest possible way. So to verify that extension has been installed, we go to the Twix application. We run it. We close it. We run again. We go down. Twix extensions, and here we are. There are application overview tooltip. As we can see here, there is a possibility to enable or disable the extension, and here we have also the chance to modify and to actually customize many aspects of each extension we are going to install. So in this case, I will leave everything as default, and we see the effects, the new extensions, what is going to give us. You see now there are the name of the application, and below there are the extra information about it, and I think that it's quite useful to have it. Another extension I like to install is the Clipboard Indicator. Now, if we going to search for a Clipboard Indicator, and this actually, as we can see here from the description, is it gives actually a cache clipboard history. So we will have an history of our clipboards. It can be useful, and I use several times. So I'm going to install it. Just click here, install it, and that's it. We are ready now to see the clipboard. If verify if everything is okay. The extension, yeah, is also active now, and there is here the possibility to modify the history, sites, and many other aspects. So I will leave everything by default, and the clipboard icon is shown here on the dash bar. Okay, so we are ready now for the next one. The next extension we are going to see is my favorite, and for me, it's very useful. Is the Overflow cover flow Alt Tab, and this one. So by the picture, we see that how useful it is. It actually gives, with Alt Tab, gives a 3D vision of the application open in background in the system. So it's actually, for me, it's very useful, and I use is something that it can't be missed on my Linux installation. So once again, I turn it on for the switch there to install it, and it should be ready now. And we go there, go Twix, extension, and cover flow tab is already there. And how we can see that the installed, now we see the effects. And here, as you can see now, it's everything in 3D. The next extension I like to install on my systems is the Dash to panel. Here it is. So what is this extension for? It actually, there is, as we can see from the description, the extension moves the Dash into the Gnome main panel. So we will have this bar up here, which is actually merged with one that we have in the taskbar, actually. So I think that's very Windows-like. So once again, to install it, turn on the switch here, install, and now here it is. Now the dash bar has been merged with the taskbar. Okay, we are ready now for the next one. The next extension I like to store is the removable drive menu. So we are going to search the removable drive menu. Through this extension, we can mount USB drives a lot like a Windows fashion. The Workspace Indicator is the last extension that I like to install in my systems. And this extension allows us to give the name of all the workspace we are going to use. So to understand how this plugin works, we are going to see now that in the taskbar we have a new icon where there is a possibility to choose some workspace, and they actually the workspace available now on my system. I choose the option to have dynamic workspace. So when I use some application in last workspace, now let's see like this one. Okay, take for example, take Ubuntu software. So now dynamically a new workspace, empty workspace is ready to use. So if I open, let's see, for example, a file manager here, I will have a new empty workspace available to use and so forth. So this is possible to manage from this extension here. And but we are also the possibility to customize the names of this workspace, and by going to the Twix application, we go to Workspace Indicator, and I can add names for each workspace I'm going to use. So, for example, I can call this one. Let's see now, Alpha. Then I add another one. Is take Beta. Alpha, Beta, Gamma. Delta. And so forth. Okay. So now I close this one, close this also. Each workspace will have the name I just gave. Quite handy extension, and with this one I close this video, and I thank you for watching and see you next time.